Merry December, viewer, and thank you for being there, one and all. My name is Ash Frith. You know that. You're a patron already. That's why you're watching this. And over there, feeling the Christmas spirit, unfortunately can't warm himself by the fire with me. It's little Jussie P. How you doing, Jussie P?
Well, I was thinking, if you've got a Christmas background, I should probably get one also. But because I'm inclusive of other people's cultures, I'd like to. I'm going to go for a non-UK centric, but still European Christmas tradition.
Yep. I'm looking forward to this. Some of the other pictures that you rotated through.
Well, there's nothing offensive about this one. This is pure
Fair
Christmas. Play. There we go. That's my Christmas background.
Well, that's it, listener, viewer. Thank you so much for supporting.
Hey, do you know what this is?
Do I know where it is?
Yeah.
No.
Holland. In Holland, yep. Santa's elves are in blackface still to this day. Look, that's Santa. Looking a bit more like a bishop than a Christmas man, and these are his happy little elves.
They do look happy, to be fair.
Well, if you're going to be inclusive of cultures, you've got to be inclusive of Dutch culture, Ash, with their wooden shoes and their weed. I don't know what else they're famous for.
Clogs,
cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, drainage. Very good at the old drainage, the Dutch.
I think I need you to remove that picture.
Well, it's nothing to do with us. It's just a picture of Dutch Christmas. It's just a reportage. You can't nerf the world. You can't sanitize the world, Ash. What's wrong with it? Okay, I'll do another one then.
There's a weird glare coming off Santa's chin there for some reason.
Oh, I look a bit like this is me and my mum and dad.
They're murderers. They're literal murderers.
Well, what do you prefer?
What do I prefer?
The harmless blackface elves or the serial rapist?
I got you a bloody stocking.
All I can see is an unironed green piece of shit cloth. I can't see what you've got. You're pointing at nothing.
Don't pull the. What's the word?
Put curtain, false curtain back. I'll tell you what I've done.
It's warming up though with a fire.
This is a cup of coffee made with an AeroPress, but I bought a new cast iron bird hand grinder.
Yep.
So I've bought my own beans, and I've ground them coarser, and I've got a very smooth cup of black coffee here, and I just had a whole fucking bar of Godiva.
You're eating a lot of chocolate at the moment. For somebody who hates sugar.
One of them whole things. One of those bars are about that big a day. The ones are about the same size as an iPhone 10 Plus. They're one of them a day.
Funny thing is, like, there's a delay on. I think it records fine, but there's a delay on what I'm saying. So you said you went like, I'm having a bar that's about that big a day. But I hope that it records okay. I don't know.
Oh, I can see you now. I was just looking at myself then because I was fucking around with my backgrounds.
I think I'd like you to have a background. I wish, because last year, of course, you were here in the pod booth by the fire. It took a. Oh, something's happened.
Sorry, no, that's me trying to change my background. So. No, this one's fine. Do you want me to blur it? This is my actual background.
I don't want you to blur it. I don't want you to be ashamed of your background.
Come a long way from living in the car, mate. My guitar station over there. Okay. What's wrong with that?
It's alright, mate.
Just a little bit defensive there.
You're doing really well.
Don't live in a car.
I don't know what's going on here.
Don't live in a car anymore. Yeah.
To operate a proper green screen, you need to have hair that isn't quite so fly away.
Yeah. Well, my hair's fucking Dido, isn't it? I can't have any green screen. So I been into town already today. It's Monday morning. If we're allowed to say that, I went into town, paid in some money to my bank.
Yeah, well done.
Up in Ghost Town, Norwich City Centre, like a ghost town.
Full of ghosts?
No, I went for on a little train. No, No, it was
said,
really,
look,
there's
you
no
said
one
you hadn't written
around.
anything in lockdown, and look at here, you've got.
No, I have. I've written a really funny bit, but it's so dirty and disgusting.
Is
But
it
I
as
think
good as
it's funny
that? I
enough
walked
to.
around Norwich City Centre, it was like a ghost town. I say, I
That
say
didn't
you
make
walk through
sense
it.
because there's a ghost.
I got a little train,
I went for a little
and skeletons
train.
kept jumping out.
I remember I was scared of the ghost
Yeah.
train, and then I went on it, and I was like, "Is anything like more oversold than a ghost train?"
Well, the thing that I hate about anything like that is when you get these people that jump out. Like, you hear about it on like secrets.
They get punched
I
a lot,
hope
don't
so.
they?
Because,
My friend did it in the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
London Dungeon, the one near Madame Tussauds, and he used to get punched in
Good.
the face.
That's the only
Well, he was
time I
drunk.
agree with violence, is the people who jump out on people.
Oh no, I agree with
Oh, yeah, well,
violence
I
when
also
it's
do in a lot of other places. But
end racism or bigotry or
they deserve to be
persecution.
violent.
Like, for example, what the Allies did in World War II, liberating the concentration camps. I am
That
for
kind of
that.
violence you're for.
That I definitely agree
Yeah.
with that.
But, woe betide.
Do you reckon your son? Do you reckon your son knows what the bouncing bomb is?
No.
God, that was such a big thing in my childhood. I saw so many things about the
Yeah, it was
bouncing bomb.
we learnt about it at school, about the engineering of it.
Yeah, and it was like, and the dam busters,
Same thing, wasn't
and
it?
it was like, see, why is it? Yeah, exactly. I'm saying that was the sort of like.
Yeah, but
dam
don't
busters
forget, on a
was
Saturday
not.
afternoon, I often, because there was 4 channels, I would watch like Bridge Over the River Kai or whatever it's called,
Right,
and I'd
yeah.
watch The Eagle Has Landed and all that stuff. Can you imagine a 13-year-old kid now on a Saturday?
But that's the thing. In the 80s, World War Two was
Yeah,
big, wasn't it?
huge.
And then in the 90s, it was like more like got all 60s, didn't it? The 90s was like a 60s sort of era came back, don't you think? Oasis were very much like the Beatles, and the Beatles brought out that box set in the break room.
Yeah.
Do you remember you could get all that? And it's weird how certain decades.
Hark back.
Yeah, to other certain.
But we're in the
decades. I think the
20s
80s
now, which is.
I can't fucking get.
No, because I still feel like we're in the early 2000s.
I can't get my nut around. I'll listen to a song by someone like the White Stripes, and I'll go, oh, that sort of seems quite current, and it came out in like 2002, 18 years ago.
Oh, I hate it.
The Strokes came 19 years ago.
The worst
mate.
thing is, what about when you see someone you haven't seen since the 90s and they're old?
I've become quite obsessed with how old or youthful I look.
Oh, really?
It's becoming a real obsession with me, and like exactly that, judging myself against my peers. I don't know what's going on. It's a recent thing. I've bought a load of grooming products recently.
Have you bought some ball deodorant like I got? Some anti.
No, I'm not worried about cosmetic. No, don't worry. I'm worried about cosmetically what I look like. I mean, that's a fun time, right? Ash knows how to have fun with his dong, get it all groomed up and smooth and slick, and Daddy likes to have a party time with his dong. I know that. But little Justin, I'm like the younger. I don't know what it is. I never used to care, and I wouldn't say it's vanity. I guess it's got to be, right? It's vanity, isn't it? Because I'm obsessed with. Sometimes on social media, a friend suggestion will come out from someone I went to school with. Somehow they slip through the net, and I'd have to go, male or female, go through all their photos. How wrinkly are they? How much hair they lost? How much weight they put on? And that's just the women.
Does that mean you do or don't accept them as a friend if they look better than you?
No. I would never, ever accept them as a friend. Never, ever. I haven't got one person from school on any social media.
Occasionally someone comes up and I will have a look, and I always look younger than them, but
yeah, I think I do. I'm starting to think I must be mental. I can't look younger than all of them.
The worst of it is, it makes me really depressed when I see one of them and they look like an old man. Now, this happened to me about 5 years ago. So, like, when I was in my mid-30s, I saw someone I went to school with and he looked 50, right? And I remember going, oh my God, like, that could have been me. He looks so old.
But the thing about it, I've got a theory about this. Was that guy a bit sexy at school?
Oh, no, you've had this before about the testosterone thing.
It's not just that the sexy girls are the rough ones and all, because they had the boom boom pow going on. But if you've got a big old pair of jugulars at fucking
You're in
14,
trouble. You're
at
in
45, you
serious
are a
trouble. Yeah.
fucking mess. Yeah. So the girl with the banging ass and tits, early
Suffered.
on, is now the one that look. Yeah, now she's fucking no, mate.
But yeah,
no,
the
just no, she
guys,
looks like a
yeah, the
fucking,
good-looking guys are all bald, aren't they? Because they had too much.
Yeah, the ones that sort of like were a
They
bit
were a
more
man at
muscular.
10.
But I was. Yeah, when you're a man at 10, you're an old man at 40. But stands to reason,
Yeah,
right?
but you got it.
But they're. So what would you rather have? Because I think so much. Got to think about this because so many people suffer all throughout their life because their formative years they were a bit bullied or a bit weedy and they never quite get over it. So is it best to burn bright and burn quick?
They're very sad. Those
What I'm
people are
saying is
very
the guy-
sad, aren't they?
But the guy who's 45 and used to be captain of the rugby team, captain of the football team, get all the birds, hold all the school records at the sports day, he's now got a paunch and he's bald and he
Good.
looks sad. But then you got the one that sort of like was youthful and baby faced, and now looks good at 45, but it's got all these emotional scars from their. Which is best? Which would you have if you could choose? That the good childhood where you're sort of like your character's formed, and then you because
Can you
you've got this
imagine
sort of like
being like that kid that everyone fancied at school? That was like
Yeah.
the sporty
Okay, yeah.
one that everyone's like, oh, he's going to do the best, blah, 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 blah. And then be 40 and just look like a 60-year-old.
Not me. See, this is the thing. I'm the anomaly
Yeah.
that proves the rule. I have still got the Mildenhall upper school record for shot put.
How do you know?
I don't know. But until someone tells me I haven't, one must assume that you have. I was captain of the rugby team.
That sums you up. You've summed yourself up in one sentence. I've still got the record for the shot put 30 years after I left. How do you know? I don't.
I was captain of the rugby team.
You were good at rugby, weren't you? That's what I've heard.
Yeah, good at
That's
rugby.
what I've heard.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, mate. Did all right. Yeah, I was a bit of a boy at school, and I think I've aged well. I think I'm a bit of
I
an
saw a
anomaly.
picture of you the other day, and you look so young, and it wasn't from that long ago. And I was like, oh wow, he looked really young then.
Which
You
picture was it?
in a soft play centre.
Oh, you have? Yeah.
No, that was
When I
a
was a
separate.
kid.
There's another picture of you in a soft play centre. Yeah, if you
Is there?
Google Justin Panks.
Ah. Because someone sent me a picture of me when I was 20...
Stone.
23, 24, and I look 17. I always look quite
Yeah,
young
I was
for my
lucky
age.
that I did. I say that. I don't know now.
So going back to that question, you have a brilliant childhood, you get all the girls, you're not bullied, you're good at sport, you get picked first for all the sports teams, not that like bedwetter thing, oh, I always got picked last and it's affected me for life. So you've got this sort of inner confidence. Does that better prepare you to deal with the inevitable fall off the cliff? Or would you rather be the swan that was an ugly duckling and now you... So would you rather peak? I think I'd rather peak early because it seems to me that people that peak early have a sort of like. There's that girl at school that used to like be the sort, and she still swans about like she is, even though she isn't. I think that's better.
I guess in your own head it is. Yeah. Do these guys?
Yeah, but we're all in our own head.
Does that guy still think he's an absolute?
But it doesn't matter if he doesn't. He does know. He might know he's not, but he's bred this confidence from youth. Whereas the guy who now. You know, like the guy who was bullied is the fucking 10th Dan black belt at karate because he goes towards that because he's bullied. And is he ever going to be good at karate enough to?
So imagine, So what you're saying is have this sort of misguided self-belief that means inside you're not striving for anything because you've already achieved it.
No.
Yet you live in your dilapidated bungalow where the ceiling's missing and every time it rains you can't sit in one corner of the house. But in your head you're like, I have fucking nailed this.
So why is it that as a culture, say someone like Bridget Bardot, for example, who was an uber sort back in her day, but has just gotten old, and I don't think she's done it. I don't. She might not be a good example, but you get that person that hasn't done anything to their face. has just grown old. I suppose the expression is gracefully, but I suppose what I mean by that is naturally. There's nothing graceful about it. That she gets ridiculed.
Oh, did you see her? How
ridiculed.
graceful she grew old.
Yeah, do you see how gracefully her eye bags have turned into ball sacks over the last...
Yeah, she looks like she's melted candle, but so graceful with it.
She has got such elegantly receding gums. The grace of this
Have you
woman
got receding gums?
But like... Oh, yes, that's where the expression long in the tooth comes from.
I didn't ask about the expression long in the tooth. I specifically said, have you got receding gums?
I've got one here.
So I've got one at the back, and I went to... I was a bit...
What?
How
do you get receding gum at the
back? Bit tender at the back. And she went, oh, it's a bit of receding gum. It just comes with age. And I went, what? I can't...
Yeah.
Why are my gums retreating? Why are they doing that? What's the point of that? What's the evolutionary use of that? My gums going, see you later, mate. Are they just drying out or something and just shriveling up?
So why don't we? If I was going to invent a plastic surgery for men, it would be I would remove a section of receding gum and replace it, switch it with your pubis. So I would like a receding pubis as a goal.
Yeah, that'd be good.
To make your dick would get longer every year.
I dreamed last night that I was having a tube put up my put up my dick, and a tube, like just they were doing a prostate check or something. I don't know. And I was laying on my side in the dream, and as they took the cover off, all the doctors just started laughing at my dick.
That's similar to my fucking photocopy of a recurring nightmare that you mocked.
Oh yeah, it is, I guess. Yeah, it's just really weird. I remember going.
It's an anxiety.
Why are they laughing? They're doctors. Like, surely they've seen everything.
Yeah, but it's funny side, I should imagine, especially on your side. Your little depressing what's it? Just like hanging, the last what's it in the bag, just hanging out. Hey, do you know they say that sounds like the sort of dream that if you lived in the Southern America, you'd wake up and swore you'd been abducted by aliens and had a penile probe.
Last night as well, I had a follow-up dream that was that a bus that I was in rolled into water, and that's my recurring nightmare. Like, I'm on a bus and it falls into water. Like, I think it's because if it falls onto its side,
you're not driving.
If it falls on its side, you can't get up. In a car, I fancy my chances of being able to climb out the top, like the other side. But on a bus, you're not reaching up and getting out. You're just going down.
I think you'd have longer in a bus, though, because it would fill up slower, right?
Can you swim up?
Yeah, of course you can. You float. Well, and also, could it be that the fact it's always a bus is like in that dream you are definitely not driving? So your brain manifests the bus, which is you are always a passenger on a bus because you've never driven a bus.
Not since I drove into that canal.
School, Otto dude. But people do that. They would dream that they had a penile probe and wait. But I heard this theory that all these being probed, seeing the white light and the aliens is a flashback to childbirth.
Well, so what?
The trauma of being born.
That's very like Freudian. I don't like any of that. Wasn't he a paedophile? Oh no, it was his grandson, wasn't it?
What, he bummed his grandson?
No, his grandson that was on the TV a lot when we were growing up. He turned.
Oh, Sigmund. Sigmund or
Clement Freud. Yeah.
Inclement Freud might be a more suitable name if he was fiddling. Inclement, because it means unpleasant. So,
what was that other one?
Freud very much Fort Da, which was like Here Gone, which is all about being taken off the breast. It's very traumatic to a baby.
You've got very big in your screen. If you gradually brought your camera towards you, is this a trick you're playing on me?
I'm trying to emulate you.
I feel like I'm really far. I'm tiny on the TV. Look.
I don't know.
You do whatever's suitable for you. I'm not. You've now got a bright.
Well, I'm
I see now. I'm sorry. I've given too much of a peek behind the curtain there, haven't I?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll sort it out my end.
So.
What?
I wasn't breastfed because my mum thought it might make my brother feel uncomfortable. Because he's 5 years older than me. And he
Oh, I
was,
thought you
and I
meant
wasn't.
uncomfortable
I think
physically, like he was already sitting on the.
she didn't want to do it in front of him.
I thought you meant uncomfortable
So
because he'd have to budge over.
no. He was, and I wasn't. And she told me. I was like, that doesn't seem fair. Because
Hold on, I'm
apparently
gonna get
it's
bigger.
big, but maybe that's why I'm so.
I just blew
What's
myself
that?
up on the.
All right. You just messing around with your
Oh,
green
I
screen.
just slightly
So
enlarged myself. So she.
it's dog having a shit outside. Do you want to see?
No.
Oh my God, that is a big shit.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Oh, she ain't picked it up. That's nice. Welcome to Norfolk.
Not everyone would have.
White dog shit, what roll that's about? White dog poo, what roll that's about?
So, I've gone out of focus with a cough. What,
Stop commenting on yourself, you narcissist.
what are you expecting for Christmas this year? You got, I mean, I know.
Yeah, a mini kebab machine.
Oh.
Vertical rotisserie.
Actually.
Yeah.
Because, like, before you've had some real shitty presents.
You know, that was the writing was on the wall, I think.
When you got a Leatherman, a sort of £2.50.
It wasn't a Leatherman. It was like the DSL ones, where it's like the ones on petrol station forecourts. There'd be a little sign on the pump that would say, "If you spend £10 of fuel, you can get this for like £2."
Yeah.
And I got some that year. I got some Thinsulate gloves. Thinsulate, I don't know how you say it, and a DSL multi-tool that were obviously from a garage forecourt.
On Christmas Eve.
That was it. Yeah, it's got that. And that was my main present. But you're one of them sort of like. Well, then you said a fucking homophobic slur. Then people that gets all into Christmas and gets an actual proper present, aren't you? Because you're still a big man child.
I'm going to get PlayStation 5 this year.
So you fucking pathetic.
All right, mate.
Well, today it's just like getting a scale electric or something.
I love playing computer games.
Just buy it yourself now. What are you
I
went to
can't
Christmas?
get one, mate. I can't get one. Can't get one for love nor money.
Are they what? They've done that thing where they know the supply. Like the Cabbage Patch Kids.
But I'm getting it with my son. He wants one. It's too.
There's nothing wrong with
too big a present
with a 13-year-old.
to buy him for Christmas on his own.
Jesus.
Because it's £400, isn't it?
No wonder this world's gone to the fucking
Why?
dogs. Just people
Well,
like
explain. What?
you
Because I'm
gang.
sharing a Christmas present with my son.
Yeah. Do you think me and my dad shared? He bought me a little a Bon Tempi organ, and me and my dad time shared it. I could hear him doing the bossa nova through the bedroom wall, and I was sort of jealous because it was my turn. You don't share fucking things with a 13-year-old. You should be getting like a kebab machine and beers, bottles of single malt whiskey, not a fucking computer game.
Took this country to the dogs.
I look at all this Black Lives Matter, the pandemic, and it's you. It's you.
Are you alright?
You're not, man. You're not,
right.
man.
I'll get you some ball deodorant for Christmas.
I just think it just seems odd. Like your son's 13, you're like, yeah, we're sharing.
We like the
present.
same things. I'm still very youthful. I've said this.
That's fucking.
Look.
What's the word? God, I hate political correctness. I'm starting to steer it. So many things naturally want to flow off my tongue. I have to stop myself. I feel persecuted by the fact I can't be a bigot. I feel that no one is more persecuted in society now than the bigot. I think it's full circle. The table was turned. The bigot is not accepted. The bigot has been silenced. Yeah. I'm gonna bring out a bigot pride parade, and we're all gonna stand on floats, dressed up as Klansmen and throwing blackjack sweets at the crowd.
I keep getting. I'm gonna interrupt you because I think what's gone wrong. Oh look. Oh.
Oh, stop it! I was interested.
Put my hand above the.
Fucking George Lucas over here. You're obsessed with it.
I can look over the top of the TV. I keep getting dodgy calls on my phone. That's the problem with the world today. It's not me getting a PlayStation 5. I'm 41. I'm allowed to get a PlayStation 5. What do you
Sure.
do with your time? I imagine when we finish this call, you just shut down. You just go,
Do you want the
Jesse
truth? Do you want the
P
truth?
shuts down.
Is it? No. No, do you want me to do my robot voice?
You know I do.
Goes back. I had to do it. I couldn't do it properly because I just spat everywhere. This is what I do in my time. Seriously. I'm studying an opening there. I'm studying the Spanish game with the Roy Lopez. This is at the critical point where it becomes either the exchange or the exchange variation or the declined. And there's so many variations each way. I need to understand so I can crush my adversaries.
How's your win percentage on chess.com at the moment?
Well, it should always stay about the same because as you increase, it naturally it automatically increases the ratings of your opponents. So I'm about 950, which isn't good. Isn't good. Do you know when you start? They start you at 1500. That's
When are we going to play?
I'm at 950. We can play.
We can play at chess.com.
But yes,
I can have it on the screen.
Gaming. I'm not adverse to gaming. I'm not adverse to gaming, but that I would rather play any day of the week 2-dimensional chess on my phone and have a decent game of that than the latest Oculus Rift VR fucking. Because it's the competition. I'll tell you what, chess is the purest competition. There's no luck. It's unlimited.
What about when
learning
Kasparov
curve.
took his finger off the piece when he was playing that woman and then said, "Oh no, I didn't take it off. I didn't mean to do that," and they let him carry on and he beat her.
I don't know about that actually, but I did watch a documentary last night about Bobby Fischer and Spassky.
You can't say that anymore, mate.
Boris Spassky and Bobby Fischer.
Wasn't he in Home and Away?
No, you're thinking of Alf Garnett. No, not Alf Garnett. What was his Alf Ramsey? What was his name? But he went nuts and just went completely anti-Semitic. Conspiracy theorist. Like I think probably the first high-profile conspiracy.
I think someone had poisoned his porn.
Well, that was, of course, the first game was the poison porn variation, which he lost. He didn't turn up, and then he lost the second game because he didn't show up. He didn't show up at all.
Is this the one we talked about before, where he had a clicker in his pocket? Who's the guy that had the clicker in the pocket and was getting moves given to him via the little vibrator? And when they said, "We need to search you, we need to search your shoes," he refused. Who was that?
The shoe bomber.
No,
Richard
it wasn't
Reed.
him. There was a chess player who had some.
See, why do you know the negative things? You negative Nelly.
Sorry,
I'm
Justin Pank's asking me why I'm.
Yeah. Why can't you focus on the beauty of Game 6, where Spassky stood up at the end and applauded him? I think that's where I think that's at the end. But I think that was where the.
What about the one where the person kept eating?
That is.
They had to stop bringing. They had to stop bringing food to the.
And there was that one where that geezer dropped his guts and followed through.
Really?
No, but I don't know. But I think this was the inspiration for the Queen's Gambit, the Netflix chess thing, which I watched, and it's because there's a guy in it who's like the hip dude, and he's supposed to be the hip dude, but it's cringe. He's got like the leather duster and leather cowboy hat. I think it's called Benny, where he's kind of supposed to be like Bobby Fischer, but she was based on Bobby Fischer, I think, because
she anti-Semitic.
I thought she was. No, because she went to Russia and then she beat the champion who she couldn't beat, and then when she did, he stood up and applauded. Bit like Rocky 4. Was 4 the Russian one? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? 3 was Clubber Lang. 2 was the rematch with Apollo Creed, and 1 was actually a good film.
I mean, I remember Rocky 4 being the greatest film I'd ever seen. It is.
Yeah, but Rocky 1 is the good
awful.
film.
Rocky 1's a good film.
Yeah.
Rocky 2.
Rocky
2, is that Sylvester Stallone directed?
The rematch. Well, Sylvester Stallone wrote. He won
Oscar.
He won the Oscar for best screenplay. He wrote it.
He also said he wrote Cobra.
But this is the interesting thing. Think about this. Sylvester Stallone made these quite gritty, action-based films, but very much
no
rooted
action.
in reality.
You think we've talked about this 100 times.
But they're good films. Like Rocky and First Blood are very similar. First Blood's a sort of like social commentary on the way that the returning vets from Vietnam were shunned by their country, and you've got these small town, like the Territorial Army, what they called over there, like the Rangers or whatever. They're sort of like, and the small town sheriffs shitting on this war hero, and it's kind of believable that he could. But then Arnie came over, and then Sylvester Stallone got proper on the roids, and he turned away from these. The First Blood.
He went mainstream, didn't he?
Two really good films that have turned into these ridiculous franchises to keep up with the action arms race with Arnold Schwarzenegger, possibly.
But Schwarzenegger's films, again, beloved, all shit. Like, think about Commando.
Running Man was pretty good. Running Man was
but it's shit, isn't it?
Yeah, but like Commando, did you watch it the other night? It was about 2 weeks ago. Fucking hell, it's bad. And so B-movie. I didn't. You watch how ticky it is.
So many
shit.
of them. And they all had one pair of boobs in them, didn't they? Every one of these films, there'd be one flashed scene.
Yeah, there's one where he's fighting a bloke, and they just fight through a motel, and there's two people fucking in the bed, and she just sits up and screams before covering her tits up with a satin.
That was the thing they did, right? How are we going to get the tits into this? Well, let's have him burst through a glass block wall, and there'll be a woman with her tits out, for some reason.
But I don't know how familiar you are with Commando, but the baddie is this fucking super camp Australian dude with a Freddie Mercury mustache and like a chainmail vest on. And he's not athletic. He is the weirdest casting.
His daughter for some reason.
Yeah.
And he's racing a plane from A to B, isn't he?
No, he
sets his watch. I remember at one point he goes, I've got 3 hours till it lands. Boop.
Well, there's this bit where he sort of like along the way he picks up this sort of like black woman, doesn't he? She's a pilot
for some reason,
and she flies.
What happened to
this
Lang?
island.
I let him go. It just drops him off a cliff.
Yeah, he couldn't hang around. It's all like that, isn't it? But honestly, at the end, he's like, "Let the girl go." Yeah, you don't want to shoot me. He's like, "You want to see him. You want to stab me, to look in my eyes."
And the guy goes,
personally. So he just chucks his gun down and goes. And it's fucking so stupid.
Oh, yeah, alright. What about Raw Deal? Equally shit.
I haven't revisited that one. I remember that. Is that the one with the sauna scene?
Is there a pair of tits in there?
No, it's a big gay off.
What else is he in?
Well, there's the big ones were Commando, Running Man, well, obviously
Terminator's great. Terminator will hold up. But then, see, I really like Terminator 2. I thought it was the best film ever.
Isn't it a genius bit of casting to get the most wooden mechanical actor to play a robot? I mean, that's just playing to the strings,
they did really well. In both parts, actually.
Cameron wrote that, didn't he, in a weekend?
Yeah. There's been like 5 of them. Wasn't there a Terminator that came out not long ago?
Yeah. I didn't even like Terminator.
That's what I was going to say. I think it was the best film I'd ever seen. It was the best effects ever, but it wasn't as good as number 1.
Oh no, exactly. Number one was sort of groundbreaking, I think.
And it cuts out his eye.
It was like an adult. Yeah, like an adult Back to the Future, really, wasn't it?
Back to the Future is an adult Back to the Future, though, as well, isn't it?
It's to you fucking. How you getting on Animal Crossing?
Never played that.
You fucking liar.
Wouldn't mind if I had.
Yeah, I would.
You're stuck with me now, mate.
Ooh. Yeah.
There's no getting away from me. There's no divorcing me.
No, there's no divorce.
No, there is divorce. We can both be divorced, but we can't divorce each other.
Comedy wife, as they say. Who's the top?
Me.
Oh, I've got your Christmas present here, mate.
Oh, I can't eat that, but cheers.
I know. Oh shit! Hey, I saw some
got your
vegan...
Christmas present here, mate.
Yeah.
Not this year. Hey, not this year. You're beyond all that now.
That was dark, Ash. That was a bit dark, wasn't it?
I can joke about it now.
But one-way ticket to happiness.
I can joke about it now that you're... Look at you, all smiling. You don't look all gaunt. You're not terribly ill.
I'm fat.
You've moved away from any high structures.
Well, they're all just a car ride away, though, aren't they? They're all just a car ride. That's a comfort. I find that comforting. I could just get in my car and hour and a half later, it's all over. Amazing thought. Gets me through the day. I mean, some people would find that
dark, yeah,
a negative. Yeah, I find it comforting. But it is. It's like being in a prison. I think life's like being in prison. Right? You don't choose
Merry
to be
Christmas,
born.
everyone.
You can't really choose to leave. But when you've sort of like come to terms and accepted the fact that you could just off yourself and be
sometimes
okay
you're
with
getting
that,
bummed
it's like
against
being
your
in a
will.
cell. It's like being in a cell, but the door's open. At any minute, I could just step out, but you can't. You're too scared. You're stuck with it.
Me?
You're trapped. Yep, you specifically. You're trapped in your little cell because you've got all the sanctity of life. I haven't. I'm not just fuck it, man. I'll just jump out of this cell, out the window at any given minute. There's a freedom in that. That's my philosophy.
It's your philosophy in the
nice.
last 3 minutes when you just thought it up.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's how I kind of live my life now. It's like, I've stared into the abyss, mate. It ain't that bad. It ain't as bad as you think it is. It's like, you know, at the end of a film when they ride off into the sunset, it's that. That's the end of the film. Just ride off into the sunset. No one's going to miss you. No one's going to miss you, fatty. Don't worry.
I'd miss you. I'd miss you.
You say that, but I don't think
once a week, I think we were
me.
supposed to be recording now. And
Yeah,
but I still think that now.
Exactly.
I texted you yesterday.
You wouldn't have that sword of Damocles hanging over your head with a
I
threat
sent you a message yesterday
actually...
when it was like 2 hours after we'd agreed to record, and I said I fall for this every fucking time. Every time.
You love it. You keep your back like a little battered
I
housewife,
love you. I can see the good in you.
Nah. Honestly, anyone scared of the abyss and scared
that
of
was
the
a bad
eternal
film,
nothingness.
to be fair. Yeah.
What, the abyss? What was the one where that real sort was naked throughout the whole thing? Species or something?
Yeah, that was a film. Species.
She was just walking around naked.
I remember that was a thing. My fire's still going.
Hey, what about the COVID vaccination? You gonna have it?
Don't know. No, I'm scared of needles.
Yeah. Well, one of them has to be minus 80.
What?
From the time it's made, they wrap it up in lipids. They encase the thing in lipids. Lipids are like lipids are something to do with cholesterol, aren't they? And then it's got to be kept at the one from Pfizer. It's got to be kept at minus 80 at all times until it's administered. How the fuck is it?
Nippy in the old arm, innit?
What are they gonna do?
You're right, mate.
That? No, I had a bar of chocolate coming back. How are they going to do that? They must be able to do it. But then the Oxford University one hasn't got to be.
That's room temperature.
80. And then like so they win on that one, but one of them's not. And why do you think the time
I know they
suspect
completely
that
different things.
Well, apparently there's two ways you can do it. You can get one where you mutate the
that sounds
virus.
like a good idea.
Yeah, and then there's another one where you somehow dilute it. You get it to regenerate over and over again, and like a bit like when you used to record. The way I've worked out, the way I equate it in my head is when you used to record off a record and on a cassette, and by the fifth or sixth generation, it sounded shit. But it's a recording of a recording of a recording of a recording. I think they do that with the virus, and it's not enough to infect you, but it's enough for your body.
In the end, all your bones.
But then Boris Johnson's got it
all your bones turn to jelly or something. Has he got it? Has he?
Well, I think the timing of it. I'm not a tinfoil hat guy. I don't think. I keep saying that, but maybe I am actually. But I think the timing of the second lockdown, because I think if they just brought out the virus,
vaccine, there's your other theory coming out.
The plandemic, sheeple. But if they brought out the vaccine and there was no second lockdown, we'd all just be like, "Fuck, that's behind us. That was March. It's gone." But now it's like the threat of, we could all be locked down again. I better have it. And I don't think that the government want to give it to us to control our minds or anything like that. But Big Pharma want
That
to
big,
administer
the guy,
it.
the big farmer from Norwich.
Yeah, Farmer Phil.
He is huge, to be fair
No,
to him.
but Big Pharma did it with Tamiflu when swine flu came out. I went and got that Tamiflu, and I never took it. I had to go because they thought I had swine flu. But I just think that like, the big medical companies are paying off the WHO to give, and I think I just think it's a money. WHO.
Ah!
That was good. That was. Pete Townsend was famously sort of got away with being a nonce, didn't he?
Don't think that's true.
He looked up child pornography and admitted it. So that's a nonce.
I don't. Bearing in mind, we can't afford to pay anything where.
It's a fact that he said he was looking at child pornography to research a book or a project about child pornography or child abuse because he was abused. That is a fact on the record. You can say
but
that.
you said he got away with being a nonce.
Come at me, you fucking lawyers, and you can chase me off the Orwell Bridge. And as I jump off, I just flick with the finger like Thelma and Louise and say, "Fuck you! You'll never take me."
Pay for that one, Ash.
Yeah. No, but then they don't have to pay for that. That's fact.
Yeah, but you said he got away with being a nonce.
Oh, so you think you've actually got to nonce a kid up to be a nonce? I think you've just got to want to be a nonce. I think if you look at it, you're a nonce. I don't think you got to.
What about if he was doing it for researching a book? Because there are people that have to watch child pornography for their job. This is a Christmas episode.
No, you don't. I don't think you do have to look. I can imagine it, and it's not pretty. I can imagine what child pornography looks like. I imagine two people fucking, and one of them's a kid.
What?
Why do I need to look at that?
Today you have to judge the person that's in it, so you can charge them with the crime.
Oh yeah, that's not what he was doing.
Okay. But you said anyone who's watched it is a nonce.
Didn't say that. I said you don't need to research it. That's what I said.
That's a great.
God, yeah,
that'd be a lovely job, wouldn't it? Yeah, I've had. You know when you go, I had a really terrible gig and the audience were horrible. This is a difficult job. Imagine you go 8 o'clock, your alarm's gone off. Oh, busy day at work today. What you got to do? I've got 20 videos I've got to watch.
Do you think there's a specialist job, or
no? They can't. You can't do that on work experience. Like it's a specialist job.
No. What I mean is, so like, say the detective on my beat finds out. No, that's got to be a specialist job, mate. So I'm saying, so you have to get like some desensitized, but then someone couldn't look at that all the time. They'd go, that'd be, wow, I never even thought about that. Well, that's really the worst job ever.
Merry Christmas!
You'd have to get someone with no kids. I don't think a parent could do that job. And you'd have to be like a eunuch, asexual.
I don't want to.
Because you'd never.
I think I need to stop talking about it because I'm going to cry. I'll be sick.
Imagine that. Oh yeah, I'm the nonce guy. It don't bother me. Like no one else can look at it. I just watch it all day long, mate.
Oh, well done, Steve. You got a bonus this month for watching Extra. You're doing overtime against Steve. It's 9 o'clock. Everyone's left the office. What are you still doing here? Got a lot of work to do, mate. Getting in a bit of overtime.
Yeah, that is a fucked up job, man.
He's always here. He's the first in the morning, last out in the evening. He loves his job.
So, what job would you like the least? Frontline car crash, dude. Just see loads of people smashed up to bits and guts are hanging across the street.
It's the crashed people one, isn't it? Yeah.
You'd rather do that? You would? But you're so squeamish.
Yeah, I'd rather that than watch nonsense.
At least someone's enjoying themselves in that. I mean, the car crash. Why you got to look at it from the negative angle? One person in the video is having a whale of a time, mate. Why you got to focus on the negatives?
It's the worst thing you've ever said. Of all the things you've ever said, that's the worst one. How has this happened? Look back there. Look at the presents. Look
It's
at the
true,
presents
if
under
you
the
think
tree,
about it.
under the fire. Christmas episode. How's this happened?
Oh, we've got a new
you're
sponsor.
infected. Just because you don't like Christmas, I love it. I
love
like
Christmas, you
I hate
fucking...
it. You just have to spoil everyone's good time. Everyone was tuning in, and they were like, "Oh, it's the Pranks and 1st December special. This'll be
Hold the razor blade
This'll-
up again.
this'll
Fucking little Mr. Innocent.
this'll be light-hearted." Oh, these two, I love these two. Every time I listen to them, it's a right laugh.
It's a laugh. I'm laughing.
How do we end it? Are we getting close to ending this? How do we end it after that? How long's that been? How long have we been recording? This is near the end of it. We've got to pull this back. We've got about 5 minutes to pull this back out of the arsehole of defeat.
I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Just give me a second.
Let's get pissed.
Let's drink the Jaeger. I got in the freezer. I've got a bottle of cold brew coffee Jaeger.
Yeah, you've already
had that?
spoken about it at the beginning of this podcast.
Have I? Oh.
You said, "Oh, I've got a cold pressed coffee that I made in a metal something."
No, that was my cup of
Yeah.
coffee. I've got. No, look,
We've
wait
been doing shots of it. He's gone. He's gone. He's actually gone.
I'm back.
Yeah, I remember you. You've been doing
I
shots.
made
You've been doing
myself-
shots
I
of
made
it. I
myself-
remember.
Coffee flavoured Jaeger.
I can. The heartburn sits there already. Me thinking about it.
I love a Jaeger, mate. What can I tell you? Yanis would approve of that. Do you know what Jägermeister literal translation?
Jaeger Meister, Mr. Jaeger.
Master. Hunter. So, well, hunters would drink it, and all the botanicals give you a keen sense of
Murder.
senses. Yeah, murder. Yes, your aim sharpens, and your nerve holds faster. And there's a hunting drink. That's why it's got a picture of the antelope on it, or whatever it is. Antelope, stag. But Yanis, this is the only good thing to come out of German cuisine, because German food
Gatto.
is
Yeah.
shit. I think that's absolute shit. German food shit, but I do like your Jaeger, Yanis. I will credit where it's due. But the rest of your food is just perfunctory meat and potatoes and meat and bread, and you can take that and shove up your arse, mate. I like a little bit of flavour, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of chilli. It's very bland German food.
I've never been.
Even their mustard ain't that good. But smoked Bavarian mustard is quite nice saying that. That's about it. And I'm a salami don't even try and interrupt this. I'm a salami aficionado. And German in my league table is the rank bottom salami. French at the top, underrated salami producers. Then Italian, then Spain, then probably Germany. I think that's about it, isn't it? Anything to add to that?
Don't eat meat. What's that? What are you doing there?
Well,
oh, thank God. Thank God. Oh, I
Happy
really
Christmas.
panicked then.
Let's say it is what time is it?
1 o'clock
It is
in the
1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Monday. What better time to have a little Christmas tipple with our viewers and have a cold brew coffee flavoured Jaeger out of the freeze. I don't know if you can say something frosty and delicious. Anyway, L'chaim, Gasolino, and Slangevar. Oh, so nice. That really is. Actually, it's nice. It's like Cavonia. It's like Cavonia.
Cavonia, the cough medicine.
Yeah. Like that. Do not drink if you're hypersensitive. What is hypersensitive? If any of our listeners can name the movie that's from, I will send you a prize. What's he got here? Look, with his little PlayStation. Oh, what are you getting for Christmas? With his little Rio Tropical.
Hold on.
Lil.
Dos Vidania. I don't know what you said. Shamal.
L'chaim. Slangevar. Gasolino. Cheers.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah, no, seriously, Merry Christmas to one and all. And even if you don't celebrate it, you're going to have
Whether
it.
you
You're gonna
like
have
it or not, we're
Christmas.
doing it this year. So
Yeah, and it's the funny. I was thinking this the other day. They're saying, "Oh, we might, if you want, we might ease lockdown for Christmas." And I thought, well, lockdown's sitting in the house with
that
nothing to
is
do with
Christmas.
your family. It fucking is Christmas. What's the difference?
See you later, mate.
Bye.